And we are, yes. I don't know what this is.
Choosing Life from 1974. Sometimes people didn't choose life in 1974. It's called suicide.
I saw Elsie Mitchell the other day. And
He chose life.
She married.
The meanest, ugliest bulldog.
Goes to prove my basic premise. The strange times
The
we
meanest,
live in.
ugliest
Did you
bulldog.
hear about Elsie Mitchell?
Yes. Fantastic. We're off to a ripping good start. All of these people chose life, as evidenced by them not having murdered themselves.
I saw Elsie Mitchell the other day. And you'll never guess who she married.
The meanest, ugliest bulldog.
Goes to prove my basic premise.
Was that an
These are
accident?
Strange times we live in. Did you hear about Elsie Mitchell?
I wanted to hear about that
yes.
bulldog.
Poor Elsie Mitchell. She's not in this film because she didn't choose life.
Yeah.
Suicide.
Suicide.
Trigger
Dr.
warning.
Metcalf. Right, Henry Wilson at Trade Street Pharmacy. I just wanted... Oh, it is? Okay. That's what I thought. And you did say...
Ah, yes. The Neocs. So wait, is this going to tell us how to choose life?
I mean,
I like how they have to linger on the title for a long time because it's very
That's
difficult
what I
to
thought.
read the way that they showed us.
because it's diagonal.
Yeah, they didn't even do a title card. They just
They did
actually
a title card.
filmed. Yes, exactly. They actually filmed a page. That is a budget for you.
Yeah, the only thing that would have been worse is if they actually had Chuck Mangione there playing, blowing the microphones up.
Let's see what this asshole has to tell us.
That was Dr. Metcalf, prescribing new medicine for Mrs. Osborne. Last year, there wasn't too much help for the poor old lady. But now, well, medical science says she may live another 84 years.
But I say
Well, maybe
otherwise.
not that long, but she does have a good many happy years ahead of her. We
Assuming
try to
she
stay
keeps
up
her
with our
mouth shut.
education in pharmacy. And in that effort, we attend seminars, read the journals, talk to local doctors, and go to classes.
All in the interest of prolonging
Have you
this
seen our signs
one
over here?
woman's life.
This one has to do with high blood pressure. Doctors call it hypertension. It is one of the most common diseases affecting our hearts and blood vessels.
Say, Mr. Wilson, don't most of the old folks affected by high blood pressure simply get checked routinely when visiting their doctor?
What do you do?
How are you, Phil? Getting all A's in school?
I think I'd rather talk about your new signs. Have you got Mom's refill?
You're going to have high blood,
High blood
pressure if you don't
doesn't
get all
affect just
A's.
people your grandfather's age, Phil. Actually, it's the original non-discriminator. It doesn't care if you're male or female, black or white, young or old.
I don't care what you are either.
Just how bad is it if you've got high blood pressure?
I call it the chronic insidious disease. In most cases, people who have high blood pressure don't have the symptoms at the beginning.
But you
if
can
it's
always
infectious,
recognize
it
them
leads
by
to
their dark
kidney
complexion.
disease or heart failure. But it's seldom that the disease gets to the point where it can't
He's
be
got a
controlled.
horrible set of
Hair
follicles
and nose.
coming out of
and
that. That is a interesting piece of cranial accoutrement.
He's got a thalidomide face too.
It's not helmet hair. It's condom hair. Oh God!
We can get high blood pressure, man. I want to get high blood pressure.
Oh, yeah? I saw what happened to Mrs. Moore last March when she had her stroke. She's only my mom's age.
That was tragic. And it's a
And
shame.
it
More
could have
people
been
don't get their blood
avoided if
pressure
people
checked
had just
regularly.
let me
Sam Moore
finish.
told me Mrs. Moore hadn't been to the family physician in almost
I like how the
3
kid's
years.
kind of blaming
Actually,
him.
a doctor might have detected high blood pressure if it had been checked.
You'd think she'd have felt bad or something before her stroke.
Here's your prescription, Phil.
I'm not
I
gonna
don't want to
respond
talk
to that.
about it
Felt
anymore.
something? Not really. Some 23 million American adults have high blood pressure, and only half of them know it. I bet you those folks would tell you they feel pretty good. Supposing you noticed that you had the symptoms of high blood pressure. By then, it may be advanced.
You think everyone should have their blood pressure checked, don't you?
Yes, everyone should. We have a screening program going on down at the Women's Club on 4th Street.
You
next
should
week.
go to
Some
the
of us have
Women's
volunteered
Club
to get down
with
and
that
help
hair
Dr.
and those
Baldwin.
pants.
Say, maybe you and the family would like to come down. Or call your family doctor. Who is your family doctor?
Dr. Pryor.
Oh, yes. Or you can call the Heart Association. I have the number
Yeah,
right here.
Dr.
Well,
Pryor's
listen, I
not
gotta run.
trustworthy.
Mom will be looking for this. See you soon, Mr. Wilson. I won't forget what you said.
Oh, what
It's
did-
Dr. Wilson,
Someone wants to
you
describe
shit.
high blood pressure as a time bomb in the body. Unlike other serious diseases, you can have it for years and not notice the symptoms. The first sign could be a heart attack or a stroke. In the overwhelming majority of people who have had high blood pressure, the
Overwhelming.
physical causes are unknown. Heredity is involved, but it isn't known to what extent. Other factors being studied include the environment,
I'm
salt intake,
transfixed by his
obesity,
thick, commanding eyebrows.
Yes.
stress.
Could you hold the phone
Hey,
just
she's
a
got the
minute?
same haircut as that kid.
Mr. Wilson,
Yes.
I was talking to Mrs. Patterson about one prescription, and I noticed on her records that she hasn't had a refill for her high blood pressure in over 6 months. I reminded her, but she says she feels too well to be bothered.
Well, go ahead with the original order, and I'll call the family physician.
Okay.
Steve Blake,
Recommend that he bring a funnel.
Yeah. Mrs. Patterson, that'll be ready about 6 o'clock.
Yes,
Dr.
I've
Blake,
got
please. This is Henry Wilson.
one of
Trade Street
them.
Pharmacy. You know, real progress has been made in drug treatment
Sector
for most
2.
types of hypertension. Blood pressure can be kept down.
She doesn't want
Enlarged
to
hearts can be returned to
take her
normal
medication.
and strokes happen with less frequency.
Maybe you can
But
send
you
someone
must
down
take your
and
medicine,
get her
even if
back
you're
on
feeling
the
great.
program.
And when, hello, Steve. Hi, how are you? Fine. Oh, she's
Boy,
great too. Thank
he
you.
looked mad.
I was
there
calling
for
you
a
about
second.
your patient, Sylvia Patterson. No, it had to do with that prescription on hypertension you gave her a few months back. Well, we were going over our card index file here and noticed that she hadn't been taking that diuretic you recommended.
This is the most
No,
delightful
it's just that
fear-mongering
she
I've ever
doesn't
seen.
feel she needs
Yeah, I
it.
can't wait until he talks about how much more efficient of a
Well, you
drug
speak
peddling
to her then?
operation he runs
Okay,
than
thanks
having
a lot,
corner
Steve.
boys.
Right. Bye-bye.
Here, charge it.
Okay,
Oh, that's the kid
Go
all
ahead.
grown up.
I'd rather take my chances than go on drugs for high blood pressure for the rest of my life. Now, what's this all about anyway? You trying to scare me?
No, we're just trying to take
Yes.
good care of our customers. Wipe off the
Right
bifocals.
after
Ed.
being
Take a
called
look
out
at
for
this.
fear-mongering, they
I
anticipated
might
that
leave here
he-
being an accident. Then you could kiss all this high blood pressure stuff goodbye.
Ed,
You'll
more
never
people
kiss
die
this
from
high-pressure
blood
stuff
pressure
goodbye
5 times
until
more than
you
die in
kiss your
automobile
life goodbye.
And
How about
at
it?
your age, Ed,
Are you feeling lucky?
I think you better take every precaution. What is your blood pressure?
130 over 80.
You
Yeah, I wrote
don't
it
know
down.
that. Fuck
And
you.
it says here in
keep
the
it
book
in
from the
your
Heart
wallet.
Association, doctors might put patients on special diets.
Take a look at this one.
Yeah, I put my head in
It
that
says,
sleeve
"Your
all the
doctor might tell
time.
you to quit smoking."
And here's one written especially
why their
for you,
hair
Ed.
looks
It
like
says,
that.
Some doctors prescribe rest and relaxation for their patients.
I think I'll take that advice at once. When I wake up next week,
Good
I'll
job.
look this over. See you later, Henry.
You
Okay,
have
Ed.
won the conversation.
You know why Ed knows what his blood pressure is? Because just a few weeks ago, he
I
set up a
kicked the
screening
shit
program
out
down
of
at the
him
Women's
for not knowing.
And Ed, well, he had his blood pressure checked. Strictly routine.
So also we discovered he bruises easily.
Ed's blood pressure was higher than average. He was also overweight.
Sometimes a
Heavy
good
people get
beating
high
is the
blood
best way to
pressure more
diagnose
often than
anemia.
people who are not. So our screening physician directed Ed to see his regular doctor and have more tests taken. With the treatment his doctor prescribed and with regular checkups, Ed soon had his blood
I
pressure
like how
under
he's
control.
in the
So what if my blood pressure is
background,
higher
but the
than it
guy
was
in the
last year?
foreground is
I'm
having
50
a
years of
very
age.
involved
What do you
conversation.
expect?
Yeah.
After all, the older I get, the higher my blood pressure goes, right?
But we had to tell the man that an elevated
Calm
blood pressure
down.
with advancing
Stop
years
shouting.
is not
That's
normal.
not how it works.
Something can
It works
be done
how I say
about
it works.
and should. We later discovered that the
He's,
same
he's shaped
businessman
like a
was
bunch of
working more
asses
than
and
60
tits.
hours a week.
It's not.
The man's
He
physician
kind of looks like the
suggested a
lamp
new
he's sitting
regimen of
next to,
exercise
smushed
and
down.
fewer working hours, which helped bring his blood pressure down.
I'm just giving you some statistics, Mrs. Simpson. Your blood
You may
pressure
have
is too
different
high.
problems with your
High
blood than other
pressure
people
is more
do.
frequent among black
You know how
people,
most
and
people's blood
usually more
cells are
severe.
shaped
In
like a
fact,
donut?
High blood pressure
Yours
probably
is
kills
shaped like
more
a moon.
blacks than any other disease. The
Or a
reasons
cookie
are
with a big bite
unknown.
taken out.
That's not bigotry. That's medical fact.
Oh, he is talking about
There is
that.
much that is unknown.
Statistics.
Didn't
Mrs.
think
Simpson.
women could get
Your
that.
blood pressure is too high. High blood pressure is more frequent among black people and usually more severe. In fact, high blood pressure probably kills more blacks than any other disease.
Looking at him like,
The reasons are
And if I
Yeah,
blow you,
right.
can
That's
I
not
get rid
bigotry.
of this high
That's
blood
medical
pressure?
fact.
There is much that is unknown about high blood
I'm
pressure.
surprised Pimp didn't
Why
dump
do
drain
people
cleaner
who
down
come
her
from one
throat,
area
so
of the country have
that,
more strokes than those from another area.
Dirty
why
Harry
do
could
older
do so.
women
Was that
have more high
Paul
blood
Kersey
pressure
or
than
Dirty
older men?
Harry?
And why do people...
I think that was Magnum Force where the prostitute get the...
Yes, well then that joke.
And why do people who have a diet high in salt become more susceptible to high blood pressure? Well, medical research, now underway, will eventually give us the causes of high blood
really
pressure.
letting us in on this
Already
little
know how to
secret
control
here.
it.
that he doesn't
We
have
must
the
get our
answer
blood pressure
to.
checked routinely and regularly.
You see that
It's the only
framed
way to know
thing
for
back
sure if
there?
we have high blood
Means
pressure.
I'm an okay kind of
It's
drug
quick,
dealer.
easy, and painless. The woman under 40 usually has slightly lower blood pressure than the man, but high blood pressure can be a common complication of pregnancy. It's important for both the mother and her developing baby.
This
Just trying
that
to
her blood
pretend that the
pressure
camera's
remain in
not
the
there
normal
and waiting
range
for
as
it to
pregnancy
leave.
No,
progresses. A person who has
those
close
big
relatives
squares
with
are the
high blood
pills that
pressure
she has
has
to
a higher risk of developing it.
Mom, look at this one. This might work out for you. Oh, Craig, look what you've done. I'm going to have to pay for that. You wait until I tell your father.
Hey, that's all right, Mrs. Abernathy.
Oh,
I'll
I'm
have
so
this cleaned up in a
sorry.
minute.
Oh, Craig, why
Hey,
did you do that?
Don't worry.
You come to the back with me, and we'll take
When
care
you're
of this.
angry or fearful, blood pressure goes up, and that's normal. But after the anger and fear pass, blood pressure should return to its normal lower level.
Ah,
Brief
so that
periods
was
of
a
high
demonstration
blood
of
pressure don't do
stress
any damage at
scores.
all. But prolonged periods of elevated blood pressure, well, they can cause some damage to the heart, arteries, brain, and kidneys.
Excuse me,
I
sir,
would advise
you're
anyone who thinks
blocking
they
the
might have
aisle.
high blood pressure or who hasn't had their blood pressure checked
He's
recently.
sitting
Mr.
in
Wilson?
somebody's
Yes?
wheelchair.
When was the last time you had your blood pressure checked?
Gosh, I'm not sure.
Oh, God.
Well, I'll be. It's
been hours.
almost a year.
Check
Well,
it
here,
now.
come on, let
Oh,
me take
no.
it for you, okay?
Do they all
Okay,
keep that in
good
their
idea.
wallets?
Okay, you get your sleeve up.
Here, I'll help you with that. Here we go.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, some sort of constantly updating thing in their back
You don't
pocket.
find anything with short
You know
normal
what? Better
last
get just put it
Have
on
you
the
heard the
back
news?
of your hand.
Elsie
Yeah,
Mitchell just
that'll.
broke up with that nice young man she married. It was a terrible
Gets too
scene, I
high,
guess,
he'll just
because
start
she-
Father thought he
blinking.
could buy the Eiffel Tower. He was going to make a tourist attraction
You know
out of
when
it
you
by
need to
playing
go
this
on a
smack in the
run.
middle of the Mojave Desert.
Which, of course, proves my original point.
About the bulldog,
politicians
I
want
mean.
to cut lawlessness
Look
in
how
the
they're
city,
smoking
they should legalize
cigarettes right
crime.
near
Well, I can see the day when it's going
Frogs
to be
will rule the world. It was the most frightening movie I ever saw. And when it was over,
Elsie Mitchell and that nice young man are finally back together again.
I'm not having a
It's a
conversation.
different pharmacist. He had to be replaced on account of his blood pressure.
This is just a close-up of a typewriter.
Yes, it is.
Christ, their budget was...
Is it that fax paper? No, well, no, they didn't have that in the 70s, did they? They had faxes then.
Fax machine? I don't remember. I think it was invented in the early 70s.
Relax,
I'm not
Mr.
sure.
Wilson. Your blood pressure's fine.
We had to do that? I'm like, wait, so this they didn't have to type out?
No,
They were-
the technology was invented after the film was done.
What if they showed it to their superiors and they're like, there's this thing called typesetting.
Yeah.